Hello, good afternoon. It is the 14th of February 2024, which today is actually Shrove Tuesday was yesterday, sorry. It's Ash Wednesday and it's also Valentine's Day. Now, I'm actually talking to you from the bathroom in the house which I currently rent with my children. And one of the things that I aimed to do over the next 40 days and 40 nights is support people and sort of give a bit of advice and guidance into ways that potentially you can support and help yourself. I am not trained, so everything and all the information that I talk about or advise is stuff that I myself personally have used or have dealt with over the years. Sorry, I found something on the floor and I'm trying to figure out what it is. It says banana ice. Oh, it's a vape. Yeah, I don't smoke, so someone's obviously left it here by mistake. So yes, so one of the main things that obviously that people tend to struggle with, and myself included, is budgeting. And it's like the chicken and the egg scenario. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, how can you budget if you haven't got any money? And what a lot of people are struggling with in today's society because of the cost of living is that 9 times out of 10, their income and expenditure don't balance. So what you tend to find now in today's society is that a lot of people have an overdraft or a credit card or loans or buy now, pay later. And we seem to have got into this habit, whereas it always reminds me of David Copperfield. I always forget the name of the character, but in it he always has that quote, like, income £1, expenditure 99 pence, but it would have been in shillings back then. Result, happiness. Income £1, expenditure £1 3 shillings. Result, misery. And it is always one of them. I mean, I always say budget, 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 and sounds like a budgerigard or a parrot. But one cannot budget if they don't know what they're likely to be spending, what the income or expenditure is going to be. Which is where then we are forced into the loaning money or having a credit card or an overdraft. And one of the ways that I myself have tried to support myself in doing this was mainly during lockdown. A lot of people started panic buying, and myself, I thought to myself, you know what, forget it, I'm not going to panic buy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go room by room by room and see what I've got. And you'll be surprised that when you go room by room by room in your property, no matter whether it's a 1-bedroom apartment or a mansion, that by going room by room, that not only are you then going to use that time wisely in getting rid of stuff that maybe you don't need anymore and, reduce the amount of clutter that you have, but you'll also be surprised as to what you may find that you've completely forgotten about. So like, for example, hand sanitizer. Everyone was panic buying hand sanitizer during lockdown. Everyone was panic buying toilet rolls. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to panic buy these things. I'm just going to go room by room and see what I can find. And ironically, by doing that, I found that I had everything I needed to last me probably another 2, maybe 3 weeks. It was little places like under the sink or in a drawer or at the back of a cupboard or under the bath, or all these little nooks and crannies that people have in their properties where you tend to put stuff and then you forget about it, like Christmas presents and things, that Santa delivers, and then you keep them safe and put them under the tree. And so I think the first tip that I would suggest that people do is try and sit down and do a budget sheet. It doesn't have to be for like a week or a month or even the year. It could just be for a day. And use that time as well to not stress yourselves out, but, take your time to go from room to room to room. It doesn't have to be on the same day. It doesn't have to be in the same time. It doesn't even have to be in the next 40 days. And look in that room and say to yourself, right, oh, this is what I've got. This is what I need. This is what I don't need. And if that is the only tip today that I would suggest that people do. So like myself, for example, at the moment, I'm in the bathroom. Like most properties, it is the most used facility within the household. The bathroom and the kitchen, and then the bedroom, and then the living room. Usually I don't even use the bedroom, I use the living room, as I have 3 children, and it's just easier to just fall asleep downstairs than after a whole day of looking after them, walking upstairs and going to bed. So the first room I'm obviously doing today is the bathroom. And one of the reasons for that is I am in a rental, and again, there's been a lot of information online about rented properties and how people have fallen into the rented market and they can't afford a mortgage or won't be pre-approved a mortgage. But again, one of the other issues with a lot of properties has been the issue with damp. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, all right? I'm in a house that's over 100 years old. Damp is inevitable. So one of the things that I have to do painstakingly at least once a month is check the house out for rising damp. Whether you're a homeowner or you're renting, it's definitely something to consider. Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit jumpy at the moment. I've just found another wasp in my bathroom. So I'm going to hang up now. The reason I'm getting a bit stressed about this is because the house has had wasp infestations in the past, and with the rise in temperature over the last couple of days, I've noticed that there seems to be a few wasps floating around. Again, that's something I may or may not talk about in a little bit more detail at a later stage. So I think for me personally, doing the bathroom first, that was probably the best call. So keep posted, and I will keep in touch with what happens with my wasp issue. It looks like it could be another queen. I've just had one, and she's gone to a better place, shall we say, because I'm allergic, so I have to be really careful if I get stung. It can cause allergies, so I have to be kind of very vigilant about bites and stuff and stings. But anyway, that's a different matter. So if you can do anything today, consider budgeting and going through your rooms to see what you need, what you don't need, and what you've maybe got that you've forgotten about. Thank you.